Hello. Hi, everybody. Divine Non-Binary back with you. Very important conversation. Very important conversation. But I'm gonna start from the topic that maybe you'd be like, what? How is this even connected? Tuning in from another episode of Manifesting Stuff. Look, do you see the slipper? Do you see how it has like this weird like textile print whatever on it? Okay. So the slippers from the video. Slippers in that video I had for approximately a year, more than a year. And you can see that they have this pattern, right? And that's interesting. I mean, or completely boring and irrelevant, right? You're like, what the fuck? Who cares? Why are they even talking about it? I'm gonna explain to you why I'm talking about it. Because it dawned on me. I mean, it dawns on me all the time, like all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what? But we start from taking it as a typical example of manifestation and the power of your focus. We start from there. So I owned those slippers for approximately 15 months, 14 months. Gele, iди сюда. And you see that they have the pattern, right? And today I wasn't wearing glasses outside. And first I was like, should I wear glasses? Should I not? But it's kind of like uncomfortable. And I went for a walk. So I wanted to be like really like feel the freedom. So I wasn't wearing glasses. And it's also interesting how sometimes it feels like wearing glasses is freedom, right? But then it's kind of like dependency, right, on this all enhancements. And to contradict this idea, or not contradict it, to balance it out, I told myself, because I had like a little hesitance, you can say fear-based, that I was like lag-based, that I was like, what if I see signs or I miss the signs because I'm not wearing glasses? And I heard myself telling that to myself, and I was like, I set an intention and I was like an affirmation for myself. And I said, if there are any signs, you'll be able to see them without glasses because they are signs and they're supposed to be seen by you, right? So I'm walking, and then I sat under a tree, I did my chanting, did my meditation. It felt amazing. Really recommend. Maybe let's do it together next time. Whatever. Back to the topic. And I sit there and I get ready to leave and I'm putting my slippers back on. And I look at them and I see this pattern and I'm like, I've never seen it before. What? Where did it come from? Like, the whole point of these slippers were that they like so bland, that they're like super neutral, like super basic. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. There was not pattern, and now there is a pattern. I was wearing glasses many times and putting them on, and now I'm not wearing glasses and I see the pattern. And I'm like, was I not seeing the pattern? Was I not paying attention? Could be that. You can argue that I just wasn't paying attention and now suddenly I paid attention, right? So that one point of the power of the focus, right? The other argument I can make about it is that it wasn't there before. In my reality, at least, it wasn't there before. And first I was like, yeah, you're just like trying to explain it to yourself to not seem like crazy, right? But at the same time, I have memories of clear memories of multiple times looking at those slippers and being like, why are you so bland? Like, how is it even possible that you're so bland and shiny and you look like inside of something, right? Like, it's just like the other side of it, where they didn't bother to render, And I literally had this thought very many times when I would look at it, just, like passing thought. So I could argue it did not exist. Whichever way you choose to look at it, what's common in there is the power of the focus and the readiness to see something, right? I did set an intention, and you can't just, sometimes life, like, throws things at you. But even when something is right in front of your face, you still might not be able to see it. So you have to open up to the possibility of seeing something before you can see it. And know that there is no like excuses or limitations, whether physical or energetical, that can prevent you from seeing what you intend to see. Good to know, right? So how does that connect to Black liberation? A bit later. Let's a bit still postpone it, or like make a more smooth transition. So we found that you cannot see something that you're not open to seeing. And of course, everybody had an example, a situation in life where like your mom tells you like, bring me some milk from the fridge. And you're like going to the fridge and you're like, I can't see the freaking milk. I can't see the freaking milk. And then you're like looking literally like everywhere and you can't see it. Because you like, maybe you remembered from another time, oh, we didn't have any. So you kind of treat it as if it's not there. And even if it's in front of you, like you confusing it with juices or whatever, or it just literally does not exist in your reality. You cannot see it. So this brings me to another thing I've been pondering a lot. It's been on my mind very strongly recently. Connection of power of manifestation and media and movements, any kinds of movements, any kinds of information being spread, and how they correlate and move each other or fuel each other. So in this media age, we have access to a lot of information. You know how also people say, yeah, it's not that police brutality became more prominent. It's just like you see more of it. Good point, right? Of course, we know that. We see more of it, even though it's always been there. But we feel like it's becoming more. You see what I mean? They say it's like what you resist persists, or like what you focus upon, you get more of. You heard that? Do you have examples from your life where you can clearly see that that's how it works? So what I was thinking, what was a lot on my mind, is how in situation where previously maybe just a family would have painful experience, right? Or a small local community would have this painful experience to go through, to grieve, to be like kind of victimized, right? To digest all those experiences. Now, of course not each of those incidents, but over many of the incidents, there's a whole globe of people who are mourning, who are feeling sad and down and angry, whatever, all those feelings that come up as a result of awareness, right? So the manifestation power becomes that much stronger when just one or two people know it. It's just like their personal life, right? When a lot of people involved in that, it's like a collective manifestation. And manifestation is just a result of law of attraction. Don't turn it off. Don't turn it off. Law of attraction is just like gravity, basically. It's. I'm not trying to like tell you it's some kind of magic or whatever. It just like is in exactly with whatever examples we can show is like you get what you focus on, right? Or it's mirroring. We can say it's mirroring, right? If that sounds more like legit to you, well, we can say it's mirroring law. Where was going with that? Yeah, so now the manifestation power is much stronger because so many people are focused on it. And when you know that you don't want something, you immediately kind of create this desire for a better world. Like, I really don't want this. This has no place in my future. This has no place in my ideal world. What trips us up a lot is that we still somehow tend to keep pushing against instead of switching the focus towards building that better future, right? And I can frame it in many different ways. I can tell you, yeah, let's just stop focusing on the problem and go towards solution. And there can be a lot of different response to that, depending also the place you're coming from. And I've been in many of those places of like anger, desperation, hopelessness, sadness, guilt, all of those. They all are legit, and there's no like need to judge or whatever. But there is just like this simple, basic again, like law, right? The solution is not born in like with the same mindset as the problem, right? It's not really about solution is born while we are witnessing the problem, right? Like this desire, and it is real the moment we desire it, right? But we have to turn around 180 and start walking towards the desire. Which brings me to a very important point. A lot of people have been talking about it over years, and makes all the sense. I don't know if you're on board with that yet or not. Again, talking about media and this exposure and this magnification of everything into complete domination. So we can go to what was the sentence I wanted to use? Like many people, it'll come back if it's needed. A lot of people been talking about like stop glorifying Black suffering, stop glorifying those moments, and we still keep reposting them. We still keep reposting those videos about a Black person being violated by whomever, in whichever way. We still keep reposting it. And then it's like, yeah, some people would be like, yeah, maybe let's do less of it because it hurts and bothers Black people. And I'm like, does not it hurt and bother you? I'm not saying I don't care that it bothers Black people. I think they deserve peace. We'll get to that later. But also, like, what is this place of disconnection from your own humanity and your own well-being where you think it's all right for you to be witnessing whomever suffering, right? So first of all, you inflict this pain on yourself, and then you also perpetuate this image, this idea of what Blackness means or entails. It's either suffering or anger. Suffering, anger. Suffering, anger. How the hell are we supposed to get out of this freaking loop if we keep like just going in circles? We keep reminding ourselves, oh my God, this is so bad. And going back to it. There was also a very nice point I watched in some video. I don't remember who said that. If I find, I'll post the link. But what is this? The idea that we have to keep filming it. Is it how change is made, you think? We have seen that it doesn't work for a number of reasons, some of which I already mentioned. But also, it's like, oh, somebody's gonna fix it when they see it, but you're standing right here with the camera turned on and you're doing nothing? And I understand that from my human perspective. I would be scared shitless. But how can you stand there, film it, and then get outraged that nothing is changing? You're literally a part of the problem, and not a part of, it's not your fault that they're attacking people. But your stagnancy, like your anchoredness in the past, that with this anchoredness and the attention kept on it has moved into the present, and unless we change something, we'll keep moving towards the future. That's what you uphold. You uphold this momentum of keeping doing the same fucking thing and expecting a different result. How? Why? What's up with that? So let's go back. Okay, we want to respect people since it's like not given somehow within our loving creation. That multiplying suffering is not good for anybody. Some people from a hurt place, where I also have been, I'm not judging anybody, I'm not pointing fingers. I've been in that place as well, where you feel so victimized about yourself that when somebody is not hurting with you, you feel offended. Why? We can go into psychology, into spirituality and everything. I know why, yes. Because your feelings haven't been validated as a baby, and you feel wrong for feeling something if it's a different emotion from other people, because that's what your parents told you, taught you. But that doesn't matter. Just simple logic of, am I gonna stay here, stand in love, in connection, in my power, and create a space for you to heal and rest and regain your connection and regain your power? Or am I gonna see you as a victim, and am I gonna recreate you as a victim in my reality over and over again? And then I'm gonna lower my vibrations, give up my connection, give up my hope, give up my belief, my knowing that better future is possible. I know it. I fucking know it. We all know it. That's why we came here. And that's why when we believe, when we give in to this idea that it's not possible, it feels so damn crappy. You cannot feel shitty when you're connected to the truth of the being, of the possibility, of opportunity, of everything, of expansion, of everything that you came here to create. When you believe that this shit is gonna continue forever, you feel horrible. Why? Because it's not true, because it's not how it's supposed to be. But by believing it, you're prolonging it. How about that? Going back. Okay, we decided that we don't... Tangent. My whole life is a tangent. Amazing, love tangents. Makes it bushy and fluffy. We decided that out of respect for the people of this planet who are affected by anti-blackness, we are not going to participate into this violence porn that's being flooded everywhere, all over social media, at every corner. Your relation to yourself and allowing, connection and happiness and feeling good and connected and loving is a different topic. Of course, you can't make a world a better place before you are healed. But healing is not a destination, it's a practice. It's choosing to stay empowered, to stay in your place of power, from which you can then take action when it's needed, because you are aligned and focused towards a better future and a different one than the freaking past. Okay? So we decided that we're not going to multiply the suffering, right? What do we do then? I don't know. Maybe we start the change, as in from within, from yourself. What is it that you see Black people as? For yourself, just be honest. There is no wrong answer. Nobody's gonna abandon you. You don't need to tell me, oh, I already this and that and that. There's always room to grow. It's not even about the room. It's literally about the direction. You either go in direction of what's been already and you keep stagnating and creating a swamp, or you're going forward into expansion and flowing like a fresh river, nourishing everything around you. So, what do you see Black people as? Do you, be honest, when you think about a Black person, Black community, Black culture, do you imagine anger and suffering and struggle? How about we start change from there? Okay? And how do we do that? By switching what we're paying attention to, and by changing what is it we replicate. Tell me honestly, how often do you repost images, narratives, and instances of Black excellence, Black joy, Black happiness, Black talent, Black peacefulness? How often? Never? Sometimes? How ready are you to repost horrible suffering, anger, disappointment, pain? You are a part of the problem. And I don't want to say the word problem. I'm only using it to indicate the direction. Stagnancy or moving forward. Stagnancy, moving forward. Problem, solution. You cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. You cannot. It's not possible. It's foolish. And it's just like, you've been witnessing it not working. So what more information do you need? Homework for you then. How about you support the world you want to envision? How about you actually start envisioning the world instead of focusing on the problem and being like, I don't know what exactly I want. I don't know. I just don't want this. That's not how the world is built. That's not how creation is happening. You can't be like, I don't want none of this, but I can't bother to even spend a few minutes imagining what it is that I want, how far I'm from it, what it is from my current reality that already reflects parts of the future that I want to envision. Okay, first step, what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop replicating the suffering. We're gonna tune into our senses and see when are we reposting something to elevate our guilt. Oh my God, I'm not doing enough. Let me replicate the violence and suffering to elevate my guilt. Seriously. Not judging you. Not judging you. Just, do you see what you're doing? Do you see what you're doing? First step. Stop fucking replicating the violence. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. That one we got. Second, envision the better future. I challenge you to do it, and don't tell me you cannot do it. Don't tell me it's foolish, that it's silly, that I am being like whatever childish about it. No, any of the excuses that you can come up with, they're not gonna work. They're not gonna slide. Right? Okay. So you are going to envision the future without mentioning in your picture, without using any of the negative words or like denial words. You're not saying the future I want has no violence in it. That does not work this way. It's not gonna work. You have to say the future is peaceful, right? So you have to use the words of affirmation, words that uplift your spirit and that paint the picture that is not resistant, that is pure. Okay, so you can write it in your journal. It's the best way because then it kind of becomes physical for you to focus upon, because when it's just in your thoughts, there's like another resistant thought is gonna mix in with it, and all of that is just like, it interrupts the flow. So you're creating the vision, and it doesn't have to be giant. Whatever you're inspired to do, it can be 3 sentences, it can be 1 sentence. You can just say, I'm envisioning the future full of love, where everybody is equal, or just love. Awesome. Next thing what you do is you focus on that vision. You adopt it as your philosophy. And you align your actions with that vision. You can't keep doing old shit and expect something new to come. Where do you think things are coming from? From you bringing them into life. But not by hating on the cop. By hating on the cop, you're poisoning yourself. It's their own responsibility to figure out, why am I the cop? What drove me here? What are my excuses to stay in this profession? It's not your responsibility. You just cannot do anything about it. But when you have a vision, you can ask yourself, what can I do about it? How do I bring about the new vision? Third, you look at your vision, you compare it to your current reality. Not to frown, not to get angry. I mean, if you do, it's fine. I'm just saying, don't focus on the negative reactions and lack of your future vision, because then you replicate the lack of your future vision, okay? So you compare it to reality, and you pick all those details of your current reality that are matching your future vision. And you increase your focus on those. So you do what? You go and see amongst your It doesn't have to be your friends. Maybe you have no black friends. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You will with time as you do the work. You go and see what are black people up to. You see them happy, getting married, having babies, cooking food. I mean, on Instagram, whatever. Don't spy on people in real life. Share those photos. Share a photo of, and don't just keep your focus on excellence exclusively. Yes, blackness is excellence. And we're also not going to go into reasons why and consequences, whatever. Black person does not have to be excellent to deserve your attention and to deserve right to live happily ever after. You go and you notice, do you even appreciate those moments? Do you give them love? Do you look at them as exceptional? Do you see black happiness as exceptional? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. It has to be mundane. And for it to become mundane, we gotta treat imagery and stories of black happiness, daily happiness, circulated at least as much as images of black suffering. But our goal is to eliminate images of black suffering and replace them with images of black happiness, excellence, talent, joy, love, and everything. Yes, baby agrees. So you do that, okay? That's also like all of these things that I have just mentioned, they're literally just shifting your perception and your reality. But that shift in your perception is going to create difference. It's going to create the shift in the reality. Because it's also going to affect other people who are following you. It's not like, perpetuating the same freaking shit over and over again. We are creating new reality. Repost black artists. Everybody. Black everybody. Repost them. It's not activism to repost people being people. Somehow when you repost your Swedish textile artist on your feed, you're like, yeah, this is just I'm just reposting. But suddenly, if you repost a black mother with her children having fun, it's activism. And in current reality, it is. In the mindset where we're at, it is. In the current imbalance of manifestation and existence, it is. But that's exactly why we want to stop acting within that frame. Make it normal. Make it normal to see, appreciate, spread and multiply black happiness. Okay? Okay? Pretty easy. Doesn't require, so many times in life, change for good is not dependent on more effort or more action, but actually it gets more momentum as we stop doing some bullshit, some resistant, toxic stuff. Yes, sometimes you are in a place where it feels bad to not feel bad for somebody. But that's your own stuff to deal with. That's your internal stuff to deal with. You can't excuse investing into current reality, which is the one where black people are oppressed and like brutalized on the regular? By just saying, if I don't do it, I feel bad. Okay, maybe you can't, bear feeling bad for not contributing to the crappy pile of crap and sort it out within yourself. Maybe that's possible? Do you think that's possible? Where do you work? Do you have a business? Do you have a 50% off discount for black people? Do you offer services for free for black customers? That's what the help is. Like, that's where you are aligned. That's where you bringing the change about. Not in glorifying violence through replicating it and looking at it and feeling pain in your chest. Like, oh, look at this white person, they're hurting. Yeah, okay. So, who's gonna help that white person then? And help is not like, don't victimize people. When you feel like you have to save everybody, you're literally taking their power away. All these movements, let's free black people, whatever. Free yourself, first of all, okay? That would be nice. Oh, we have to give them platform to speak. Although these platforms already exist, you don't need to give nobody nothing. You just have to stop taking it. Just stop taking it. How you do it? Again. What is it that you repost? What is it that you support? How much of this support goes towards black community? And how much of this support goes towards a person that looks exactly like you? And there is no hate in supporting people who look like you. We're not talking about it. We are talking about literal power that we hold and possess into sculpting the media, sculpting the future that we are envisioning. Instead of relying on the present to give us some kind of hope. What do you think a present is? Present is what you had imagined in the past. If in the past you did not imagine an improvement, present's not gonna give it to you. You want an improvement? Imagine it and create it. I don't know. From one side, it kind of can go on forever. From another side, it's like I can also finish any second, like now. We can keep talking about it. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, and I love you so freaking much. You can do it. You can do anything you want. Anything. Sometimes people are afraid to give themselves love because they are scared to be perceived as selfish or to become selfish. But selfish, whatever concept you're referencing, alignment with self. Self that wants the best for yourself, but also self that knows there is no separation. I'm you. You are me. Everybody is me. I am everybody. If I'm aligned with self, if I love myself, I am able to love everybody. I always love everybody. But if I'm disconnected, I cannot enact that love because I am too wounded in my disconnection from self, from the divine. Everybody is divine and is loving and is deserving, but you cannot get there from paying attention to the opposite, from wallowing in the opposite. Right? I don't know how long this has been, but have a good day. Before doing anything, check if you're trying to act from fear or guilt, or you're acting from love. That's very important. So have a great day. I love you so, so much. Stay tuned. Engage. Rest. 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 Rest.